Trevor claims that Meg had so many abortions at 28 or 29 with neighbour Gngster at Crenshaw district. Plagued by crime and riddled with street gangs, the troubled Los Angeles neighbourhood that Doria Ragland calls home couldn't be more different to London's leafy Kensington. Markle was brought up in a large yellow-coloured detached home in central LA, while her husband spent most of his childhood between Kensington Palace and Prince Charles's Gloucestershire mansion, Highgrove. Local gangs include Crenshaw Mafia Gngster, which has been plaguing the area since 1981, and Bloods affiliate Centre Park Bloods. Operating close by are the West Side Rollin' 60s neighbourhood Crips, one of the largest street crime collectives in Los Angeles and branches of the Compton-based Piru gang. Neighbour Michael McWilliams, 49, said he hadn't seen Doria since news of her daughter's alleged relationship with Prince Harry broke, but described her as a nice lady. Markle remains close to her mother, who divorced her father Thomas, 78, when she was 6 years old, and is often seen with her on the red carpet. Crenshaw is one of a cluster of Los Angeles boroughs famous for gangs, along with Compton, Long Beach, South Central and Inglewood. The latter, which borders Crenshaw to the south, is also home to another member of Meghan's family, her maternal aunt, Ava Burrows, 63. In such a habitat, Meghan is said to have roamed with many men in the area. The father, Thomas Markle, also admitted that the teenage Meghan constantly left the house and went to sleep at a boyfriend's house. Known as the Queen Street Bloods, famous former members include rapper Mac 10 and Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Marquise Lee. The crime-plagued neighbourhoods of Markle's mother and aunt are a far cry from the leafy part of Long Island where her former husband Trevor Engelson, 40, grew up. The Hollywood producer now lives in Los Angeles but was brought up in an affluent suburb of Long Island, close to the New York City limits. A family friend who declined to be named said that the family hadn't spoken to Markle since the divorce. Her ex-husband told relatives that he'd learnt of the actress's dad, brother and sister all claiming Meghan Markle had a hysterectomy at 28 or 29 because she'd had so many abortions. Whatever the reason, I agree with you that she didn't bear either of those children who may or may not be real. The lies and untruths seem unnecessary, and the timelines and birth math don't add up. Neither of them are clever liars able to keep the lies straight, and thus nothing makes sense. Repeated abortions may cause Asherman's syndrome, scar tissue and adhesions. Some women with this condition cannot conceive, or will experience recurrent miscarriages or stillbirths. In some cases, hysterectomy may be required. If it's coming from a family, then it's probably true. I say alleged Archie and alleged Lilibet when I talk about those children. I really don't think Lilibet exists. Nothing about those children makes sense. They've told so many lies that they can't keep up with them. Their divorce was in Los Angeles, where Markle legally resides, although she spends most of her time in Toronto. It was a quick divorce which used a legal procedure which limits the information the couple have to disclose, including marital assets. The papers associated with it show that both parties agreed to the split and that any financial settlement was entirely confidential. Markle also gave up using her ex-husband's surname, the papers said. He continues to run his production company from an office in Los Angeles and was not available for comment.